Welcome! In this lesson I will show you how fermentation fits into the biorefinery concept to make optimal use of sugars from lignocellulosic substrates. Today, most fermentation processes use sucrose or glucose as feedstock. Fermentation of lignocellulosic feedstocks allows for the use of additional parts of the crops that are now waste materials. You can think of corn stover, corn cobs, sugarcane bagasse, or wheat straw. Another source of lignocellulosic feedstocks are crops such as miscanthus or switchgrass, or wood derived from forestry. Dedicated pretreatment is required to obtain fermentable sugars from the cellulose and hemicellulose fraction of the biomass. This can include mechanical and thermochemical steps. A typical acid pretreatment generates streams containing cellulose and partially hydrolyzed hemicellulose. Cellulose and hemicellulose are further converted to fermentable sugars in a step called saccharification or liquefaction. This is an enzymatic pretreatment to hydrolyze the sugar polymers. Typically, the cellulases and hemicellulases that are used for liquefaction have optimal activity at temperatures around 50 to 55 degrees at mildly acidic pH. Hydrolysates from cellulose and hemicellulose contain mainly glucose and xylose in a 2:1 ratio. Acetate, arabinose and other compounds that decorate the hemicellulose may be present as well. In addition, breakdown products from sugars such as HMF and furfural can be formed. These may inhibit microbial growth. As lignocellulosic sugars are about 2/3 glucose and 1/3 xylose, production strains should be able to ferment both sugars. The next lesson will focus on this aspect. If we look again at the overall process and the temperatures involved, we see that in between the pretreatment and liquefaction, and in between liquefaction and fermentation, there are cooling steps involved. These involve cooling costs and time. It would be advantageous to use thermophilic bacteria that thrive at conditions that are optimal for the liquefaction step at a temperature of 50 to 55 degrees. An additional advantage is that this allows for the integration of the saccharification and fermentation in a single step, saving time and limiting product inhibition for the saccharification step. This approach is called simultaneous saccharification and fermentation, often abbreviated to SSF. So now you have seen how pretreatment, saccharification and fermentation are linked to each other. The choice for a thermophilic production organism allows for a more economic coupling or integration of the saccharification and fermentation step. This is beneficial for the overall economics of the process. Your next challenge will be to find the right thermophile that can make, or can be modified to make, the product you're interested in.